All right. Today is a day. Today is a day. Now, I'm going to first get everything started by saying, one, I want to thank everybody for joining the Cleanup Cast. This is a place where we use common sense and we speak objectively. I never thought I'd see the day, but today is a day. Now, I want to start off by saying that throughout maybe a period of time, I will be hosting some the Fall from Grace as a series. Now, this is not going to be something that I'll do every day, but whenever time present itself, specifically, for example, like today, the Fall from Grace the Fall from Grace series will pretty much describe the downfall of whoever it is that is nominated to be selected in this series. That's one. Now, what I will start off by saying is Kanye West is definitely he's very instrumental into the growth of myself. I want to start off by saying that every album that Kanye West created, I look at those albums as being chapters in my life or transitions in my life, from the college dropout to late registration to the whole lineup. I can personally say that every album meant something different to me, and I felt like every time Kanye West made an album, he specifically addressed certain things that I was going through in my life at that certain time. So the first thing we want to do is start this thing off with love. I want to say that I do appreciate everything that Kanye West has done for the game of hip hop, R&B, and Kanye West isn't just a hip hop artist. He does so many things. So I posted a couple weeks ago, about giving Kanye West his flowers while he's here. I think it's important. We don't give a lot of people that's alive their flowers. We don't give them their flowers while they're here so they can receive them and smell them and bask in their glory. So I thought it was appropriate for me to give this man his flowers. Now, let's get to business. Why I chose to nominate Kanye West in the first series of the Fall from Grace, obviously it's been a long time coming. I, along with the rest of the world, have seen different stages in Kanye West's life that, one, it was definitely questionable. So, from different things, obviously him having a mental breakdown, which that may play a part in a lot of the things that he has going on, from just different many things, wearing your MAGA hats, saying, and if you really think about it, Kanye West been, he been with this type of energy since he pretty much started. Obviously everybody remembers the George Bush doesn't like black people comment, which was, very early in Kanye West's career. So we know that Kanye West definitely had that in him. But let's start by kind of going through the phases of where did Kanye West go wrong, or what happened to Kanye West. We can remember like it was yesterday how when Kanye West finally got into the game, he was so happy, he was so upbeat. He was recruited by Rockefeller, specifically Dame Dash and Jay Z. They took him under the wing as a producer. But Kanye West has talked about it in many videos, many interviews, that he didn't want to just be looked at as a producer. Kanye West was, shipping out different songs that he was on. A lot of people kind of said, I don't like the way you rap. This is not that. So just stick to, producing our beats and everything like that, until Kanye West actually came out and started dropping some good albums, which he got a lot of feedback from. I would say after the College Dropout and Late Registration dropped, Kanye West, the world started taking Kanye West very serious. And it was just it was more than just him being able to produce beats. Kanye West actually talked about something. Kanye West, if you really think about it, Kanye West is considered the first backpack rapper. The rapper to wear polos and different things. Kanye West is responsible for creating that type of lane. Whether you believe it or not, or whether you agree with me or not, Kanye West is the leader of that school. And we're talking about your J. Cole's, your Kendrick Lamar's, all of those guys mirrored Kanye West's footsteps. And all those guys say it as well. So let's give credit when credit is due. Kanye West started the new era of hip-hop. That era where it talks about something. You're not just sitting here talking about shooting and all these different things that's pretty much dominating today. Kanye West was responsible for actually saying something on records. And he didn't have a problem with being himself, expressing himself, and saying, I'm not a gangster, I'm not this and that. And I think that's what gravitated the world towards him. Basically, by him being able to be himself. Let's put it like that. Now let's look at the things that's been happening in the recent times. Kanye West has been heavily criticized based off of comments that he made off of a Drink Champs interview that he did with Noriega, which I'm sure everybody saw. Kanye West was, now to say it was anti-Semitic, I get it, and one thing I noticed about Kanye West has this thing where he don't know how to properly communicate his feelings. He don't know how to say what he want, or use his words. So instead of us understanding what Kanye actually means, we'll take it for whatever the way Kanye West said it, or the way Kanye West says certain things. Do I believe that Kanye West is a anti-Semite? I really don't think so. Did Kanye West use some words that would, come off as a little bit of an anti-Semite? I could say yes. I could say that. But Kanye West is the type of person you have to read between the lines when it comes to certain things. Now, if you were able to watch this Drink Champs interview, which was a 3-hour watch. I didn't watch the whole 3 hours all in one. I had to watch that interview bit by bit. So, but I was able to watch the Kanye West Drink Champs interview in pieces. So throughout all pieces, I realized that Kanye West was, as stated, saying things, but he didn't know how to say the things the right way. He was voicing his concerns about certain things, and he pretty much credited the Jewish people as to being the focal reason why a lot of the black culture isn't moving together, moving as a unit. There's just a lot of things that Kanye West blamed Jewish people for, which, like I said, it did come off as anti-Semite. But if you know Kanye West, if you've been following Kanye West throughout the entirety of his career, you know that Kanye West doesn't really mean certain things. He's an artist. Obviously, these guys know how to use words. They know how to put words to paper and all that stuff. So I even though I understood how the Jewish community feel, I don't really think that Kanye West meant what he was saying, based off of, just the different things he's done throughout his career, Now, the main thing I will say about this interview is there was alcohol involved. It's alcohol involved. So, throughout the whole interview, you could just tell a lot of these guys were just speaking, and I do get it, drunken minds is sober words. I get all of that, but Kanye West being who Kanye West is, he should know better to drink and have these type of conversations based off of his past. Now, what I will say about Noriega is Noriega had Kanye West on his show before this episode came out, and Kanye West went off the wire from a hip hop perspective in the last show. So Noriega pretty much should have knew what to expect. I don't think Noriega was expecting the whole Jewish rant and the whole, racist jargon that Kanye. I don't think Noriega was expecting that type of Kanye West. I'm pretty sure he was expecting Kanye West to go off on hip hop culture again, like he did the first interview. So, yeah. So, what I had a problem with is Noriega did. After the interview, Noriega went on a couple social media platforms and he apologized for things that Kanye West was saying. He took responsibility for that, and I get it. Noriega, you have to do what's in the best interest of you, what's in the best interest of your family, your show. I get it. But what I will say is, Noriega, me watching this interview, I did see you. I saw you correct Kanye West, or pretty much try to simmer Kanye West down when he was saying a lot of the rants that he was saying towards Jewish people. I saw different segments of you saying, Kanye West, let's not talk about the Jewish people. So for you to go on these other platforms and apologize for Kanye West, I didn't agree with that in a sense. Because at the end of the day, you did your job by saying, listen, let's not target the Jewish people. Let's pretty much target, certain moves you're making. Certain things that you're saying, like the George Floyd and everything like that. I did see you check Kanye West in that sense, but for you to reiterate how apologetic you were based off of Kanye words, Noriega, you know what Kanye West is. You know exactly what Kanye West is gonna do when he comes to the show. You know exactly the type of energy that Kanye West is on. One, because you had him on the show before and you saw the type of energy he was on before, and you've seen Kanye West patterns in the past. So, come on now. Like, you can't sit here and say you apologize for something that you pretty much knew what to expect. Now, instead of you apologizing, I probably would have just pulled the show. I mean, that'll save face. If you're really apologetic, you want to release a show. At the end of the day, I do understand that you are a journalist, and any content is good content for your show. I get that. So you gotta scratch the being apologetic for someone else's actions. So outside the Drink Champs interview, Kanye West went to do an interview a couple days later with Piers Morgan. Now this interview is where Kanye West apologized for a lot of things that he said on Drink Champs, and I was able to watch that in pieces as well. That was a pretty long interview as well, and Kanye West was able to apologize for the things that he said on Drink Champs about the Jewish people. Piers Morgan, I think Piers Morgan did a great job in interviewing. He wasn't, I don't think he was attacking Kanye West, but I think he was kind of bringing some sense to Kanye West is as far as, and you know what, the good thing that I noticed about Piers Morgan is Piers Morgan understood who Kanye West was, just exactly like I said in the beginning. Kanye West, when he's communicating his concerns, he don't know how to properly communicate himself with his words. And Piers Morgan definitely said that in the interview. You know, he kind of like agreed with Kanye West. I understand that you're dealing with bad business ethics and it's just certain things, and Jewish people may be tied to the people that you're doing business with, but the things that you were saying on Drink Champs, you was making it seem like it was a whole Jewish community. And this is the purpose of us having that interview right now, is because I want you to be able to say, I apologize to the Jewish people as a whole. I don't mean the Jewish people as a whole. I mean the specific Jewish people that I'm doing business with. I think the world wouldn't have came at you a little bit hard if you said it that way. I don't even think you should say the Jewish people that I'm doing business with. Just say the people that I'm doing business with. And if anyone so happened to look into who you're doing business with and they're on it like that, they'll find out that these people are Jewish. You don't have to, you don't have to single out Jewish. You don't have to do that. And this is what Piers Morgan was saying throughout the interview with Kanye. I don't think you're a bad person. I just think you don't know how to communicate your concerns. I don't think you know how to communicate without offending other people. I also want to address not to go back, but in that Drink Champs interview, Kanye West said something that kind of like threw me off in a sense. Kanye West had mentioned that you don't have to read to be intelligent. Now, what I will say is Kanye West is right. He's right and wrong in a sense. And the way he tried to clean it up, I get it. You know, I learned through the mistakes of other people, or I learned from people who, I get it. But Kanye West, let's really sit down and put this into perspective. At the end of the day, and I'll say it like this, and I know, if you want to hide something from a black man, or just if you want to hide something from an ignorant group of people, you know where to put it. You know the saying already. So for you to say something as far as like, I don't have to read to be considered intelligent, you're right. But at the end of the day, reading also brings more intelligence, or reading brings different types of viewpoints that help you know how to verbalize what you're saying. I personally think, Kanye, if you were an avid reader, you'll be able to communicate certain feelings that you had. Simple as that. So I don't necessarily agree with the whole I don't have to read to be intelligent. You're right, but you're wrong, Kanye. So let's not spew that among our culture, as you would say. Reading is very fundamental. Reading is very important. As an avid reader myself, so let's not spew that upon our culture that you don't have to read. You have to read. Everybody has to read. But specifically, our culture needs to read. Reading brings understanding. Understanding brings change. Without understanding, you have madness, you have mayhem. So let's stray away from I don't have to read to be intelligent. Okay. Now, as stated, Kanye West, I understand what you're saying. I understand that, you know, the people that you're in business with, you're not happy with a lot of the contracts that you're in because you signed it out of ignorance, which goes back into what we were saying. Kanye, if you knew how to read, you would know what your contracts meant before you signed them. Need I say more? If you understood how to read and understand, because anybody can read, it's about comprehending. If you were able to read your contract and comprehend it, regardless if you had lawyers, no, you got lawyers for your contracts. You need to be able to ask these questions to your lawyer and see if you want to sign these contracts. And you learning off of the mistakes of others based off of bad contracts, that definitely wouldn't have helped you out. You need to be able to read and comprehend what's going on. But I get it. All right, we're all young. We make mistakes. Cool. We make mistakes. We're cool. Now, my thing is, Kanye West, you don't have to publicize that you're being done wrong, or you don't have to publicize that a certain group of people is being done wrong. You don't have to publicize it. You should have learned. We should all take lessons from history. You gotta learn from what has history brought us as far as like speaking out in public or moving in the public scene. We lost a lot of great leaders because, in my opinion, they were moving publicly instead of discreetly. Kanye West, there's ways to go about doing things, and I don't think doing things in the public is fruitful for the culture that we talk about, you know? It's not fruitful for the culture that we talk about. You have to move in silence, in my opinion. Move in silence. You want to get things done behind the scene. When I was working, I came to the realization I can no longer help people directly. I need to be able to help people in the background, indirectly. It's much more difficult to help people directly because there's so many things that they have going on within themselves that makes it hard for people like Kanye West and people like, different people who have the status, who have the resources. It makes it hard for those type of people to work directly. No, you need to make these moves behind the scenes. You need to make these moves with policies. You need to make these moves in other aspects instead of just going out in public, because when you do it in public, you expose yourself in so many ways. You're exposing your hand. It's like playing poker. You're exposing your hand instead of just knowing what you have in your hand and moving accordingly. And I don't place full blame on Kanye for that. The people around him need to take some accountability, and the people got to be willing to lose their job to let Kanye West know, no, you're not right. This is not how you're supposed to do things. And I don't think Kanye West has those type of people around him to kind of let him know when he's out of control, let him know when he's wrong. Obviously, because they're being employed, or whoever, for whatever motives they have, they're not letting this man know that, the way he's moving is unprofessional, it's inappropriate, and it's so many things. So I think Kanye West's surroundings is playing a part in this fall from grace that we're witnessing right now. Now, let's kind of go through like certain stages. Let's go through like certain stages of what I feel, plays a part in this man's just meltdown. I'm gonna take a long shot on this. I'm gonna say Kanye West has attachment and abandonment issues. I'm gonna repeat that. Kanye West has attachment and abandonment issues. What are you talking about, Vic? All right. Follow me on this one. The first major change that I witnessed Kanye West like just change his whole character is the death of his mother, Donda. Now, there's a couple videos out there where Kanye West has been performing in concert and he said certain things on how he felt about the passing of his mother. We knew how important the relationship was between Kanye and Donda. We knew. And once that happened, we see a total 360 change after his mother passed away. We saw that. I think that was a starting block to the downfall of Kanye. And that's where the abandonment comes in. I don't think Kanye West still to this day has processed his mother passing away. I think he accepts it now, but I don't think Kanye West has fully processed his mother not being here anymore. And there are a couple interviews out there where Kanye West has mentioned whether his mother will approve of certain behaviors that he have now. Kanye West knows that his mother wouldn't appreciate certain behaviors. And if you notice, like when people ask Kanye West about his mother, he kind of like, you can see like the stare, you can see the total change in body language. It's like, it's very concerning, and in my opinion, as stated, I don't think he has yet processed, his mother passing away. So we're going to use that as step one to adding to this fall from grace. Now, these attachments. All right, let's start out with his first girlfriend, Amber Rose. Amber Rose. Now, just watching the way that relationship unfolded says a lot about Kanye West, who he is as a person, who he is as a boyfriend. At the end of the day, Kanye West has severe attachment issues. I mean, Kanye West speaks publicly about his past relationship with Amber. You know what I'm saying? Kanye West, I ain't gonna say he a beta, but at the end of the day, Kanye West moves like a beta in a sense. He moves like a beta in a sense. And I say that from the most respectful place, Kanye West does not know how to deal with, separation. Kanye West is, it seems like he's in a state of confusion. He raps about it. He did an entire album about his relationship with Amber Rose. Now, did he specifically say her name on 808s and Heartbreaks? No. I'm not gonna say that, but you could just tell by the things that he was saying in 808s. You know what he was. You know what he was. You know what he was rapping about. And then you switch to the relationship with Kim Kardashian. Now, I don't know about Kanye West, but I don't know. I don't think majority of the men out there would have, uh, I guess, let's use a little slang right now. I don't think a lot of the guys out there would have wife Kim Kardashian. Now I get dating her. Obviously, she's a lot of guys' fantasies. I get it, this and that. But I don't think a lot of guys out there would have wife Kim K specifically based off of the history she has with people, whether it be physical, intimate, whatever. But hey, listen, love has no color. Love has no has love has no limits to whoever you fall in love with. You don't have but for Kanye West to really like wife up Kim K, and I'm being respectful because I know this man got kids by her. But let's take the kids outside of it. I don't think a lot of men would have, made Kim Kardashian their children's mother. So the selection in Kanye West women says a lot about who Kanye West is. It says a lot. Now I think this building block right here to his fall from grace. I think this one tipped the cup over with this one. This one tipped the cup over for sure. Kanye West, you definitely saw the end of Kanye West, after he separated from Kim Kardashian, which a lot of us expected this to kind of end. Because in a sense, you can kind of compare Amber Rose and Kim Kardashian in a sense. You could kind of compare the two. So, but this Kim Kardashian separation after having kids with her, this was it. This played a major role. After the separation, I'm sitting here and I'm watching how she's moving with this man's kids now. I'm watching how she's just like publicly disrespecting Kanye West as a man, as a father. Then she proceeds to date this younger guy who's also dealing with mental health issues as well. Listen, there's one thing I'm going to say. If it's one thing you don't do, you never play with a man's children. I don't care how much you are not on the same page with this man. You never play with a woman's children. You don't play with people's kids. That's what we don't do. You don't play with people's kids. Now, what I will say is Kim Kardashian, when she got with this guy who had mental health issues, you could just tell by the way he was moving. It was just like, it kind of shows the disorders that maybe Kim suffers from. She was allowing this man to do so many things with Kanye's kids. We're talking about this man tattooed Kanye West's kid's name on his body. What are we really doing right now? What are we saying right now? The man literally tattooed their children's name on his body. Now, if that's not a alarming situation, I don't know what else. I don't know what else is. Then you go to another screen, another picture that was posted on the internet where you got Kanye West's kids sitting on this guy's lap. It's like, we already know what this man is dealing with internally as far as like Kanye West, but like, by you putting the kids into it, you're just making things worse. You're making it times 10 worse. You're making it worse. So obviously this man goes on a huge rant on social media and just start blasting everybody, including Kim, about her parenting, about the selection, the way she's going about dealing with this new relationship and involving the kids. Like, now that was one situation where I can agree with Kanye West. Like, don't play with my kids. You do whatever you want, but don't put the kids in the middle of this. Regardless of whether we're on good time or bad time, the kids have no involvement in, grown folks' business. So, and that was one instance where I can agree with Kanye West. Kanye West, he goes on there and say, well, my daughter shouldn't have a Snapchat, or this and that. My daughter should be like, I should have access to my kids. Just doing stuff that, listen, I'm not going to go into other stories where, people where men took things in their own hands when it comes to being shielded away from their kids. But, that if it's one thing that will make a man go crazy is playing with his kids. So, you call it however you want to call it. So, all of these things are playing into the fall from grace that Kanye West is currently going through, that the world is currently we're all witnessing the fall of Kanye West, whether it be publicly, financially, emotionally, physically. Like, I think as of this recording, Kanye West has been on a couple platforms and he apologized. Now, what made him apologize, I don't know. But Kanye West has been apologizing from left and right. Which, in a sense, you can kind of see where Nori was coming from. At the end of the day, I need to make this right because Kanye West is up and down sometimes. He'll say something one time and then he'll just totally retract everything that he's saying. So let me just save myself. That's what happened after Kanye West made the apology. So you kind of confirmed that it was okay for Nori to go onto these platforms and apologize for the things that Kanye West was spewing out, So now, before I end off this video, I want to speak to Kanye West directly, and I want to just say one thing. Kanye West, there has to be a point in your life where you have to grow. Now, I say that for many reasons. The main reason why I feel Kanye West needs to experience growth, or he needs to kind of snap out of what he's going through, is because you have kids involved now. You have kids now, Kanye West. So the way you were moving when you didn't have kids, you cannot move like that no more. If you're not going to change for nobody else, you need to change for these kids. Going forward, you need to move and you need to think. You need to have your kids on your mind going forward, as far as when it comes to you speaking on certain things. Because what I will say is, Kanye, you're not there with them kids in school. You don't know what these kids are going through publicly. You don't know what they're going through growing up just as children. You don't know the embarrassment that they're facing. You don't know. You're not with them every second of the day to know what these kids are going through. There's so many factors involved when it comes to the children. Now, I do get that you feel like you are, as you would say, the pastor of the family. You are the king of the empire. Well, it's time to start putting those words into action, Kanye West, you need to start making more mature decisions, if not for yourself, but for the kids. If not for yourself, but for the kids. Because at the end of the day, you need to understand this affects their growth as well. Having to defend their father, even if you don't necessarily think that the kids need to defend you, Kanye West, you're not around them when they're with their friends. You're not around them when they're in public. You're not around with them when they're just in the world themselves. Now, I don't know the love that you have, the connection that you have with your kids. And if it's a strong connection, you're going to be putting your kids in a situation where they're constantly fighting over things being said to them about their father. So, from man to man and from father to father, Kanye West, you need to move, and you need to move with them kids on your mind going forward. Anything that you feel or anything that you want to say, you need to have one question. You need to answer one question to yourself before you think or move. Is this something that's going to affect my children? Is this going to add to the emotions? Is this going to add to the pain? Is this going to add to the embarrassment that my kids are facing? And I'm going to leave that with you, Kanye. I want everybody to pray for this brother. Make sure he all right. Hopefully this man will wake up one day.